Hey everybody, EJ Rannick back with you again alongside the one and only, the coach, Barry Melrose. How are you?
I'm very good, EJ.
That's it, huh?
Hockey's back. You know, the weather's great outside. My favorite time of the year, fall. Still doing a little bit of golf. I'm back at ESPN. It's just a great time.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better.
And listen, we're going to talk right now about your Stanley Cup picks. And pay attention, because last year,
Pay
I know
attention?
I always joke.
Pay attention?
Usually he doesn't have as much success, but last year he hit it on the head. Hit it on the head.
Knocked it out of the ballpark.
Philadelphia and Chicago, he had the winner, he had the loser, he had the whole thing.
In the number of games.
And the number of games. So let's start now with the East. Who do you like in the East this year?
East, I like the Washington Capitals.
Wrong again.
And the reason I like the Washington Capitals is that they've been a team to beat. They've been the best team the last few years.
Okay.
But they haven't changed the style. If you remember Dallas had to change the way they played in order to win. Madonna had to change the way he played in order to win. Yzerman had to change the way he played in order to win. Washington's to that point now. They've got to change the way they play. They can't just outscore teams. We saw that last year with Montreal and a hot goaltender beating Washington. So I think if Bruce Boudreau is ever going to get to these offensive stars of the Washington Capitals, it'll be this year. They're motivated, they're embarrassed, they're receptive. It's always easier to coach after a loss than it is after a win. The players want answers. So I think this year they will be receptive to what Bruce is selling, and that is a more of a defensive style, to get better in their own end, not give up easy chances. Give your goaltender a little bit of help. I think that's what he's preaching, and if they'll do that and change their style a little bit, I think that'll push them over the edge, and they will win the Eastern Conference.
And also, just shutting teams down when you have a lead.
Yeah,
you know, like, don't
not let them back
shut
in
it
the
down,
game.
Right?
Yep.
Get it over with.
How many games did we saw they were up 3-0 and they ended up
Becomes a
winning
game,
6-4,
yeah.
6-5,
Yeah.
and just compete defense. That's all. Bruce knows they're never going to become the New Jersey Devils or the Dallas Stars when they were winning Stanley Cups, but just compete defensively and give your goaltender a little bit of help. That'll go a long way in order to win.
All right, that's a good pick. I like Pittsburgh though, but that's a good pick.
Can't go wrong with
Washington,
Pittsburgh.
That's a good pick.
Probably the second best pick.
All right, well, after yours.
Next mine.
In the West.
Yep.
So you got Washington East. What do you like in the West? Because the West, not as many changes. You
Nope.
brought that up a couple times. So do you see somebody different?
Vancouver. I like Vancouver a lot for a lot of the same reasons. Number one, they were the second best team in the West last year. Okay, Chicago beat them. I like their goaltender. I used to love Roberto Luongo.
Now you're down to like.
I like him now.
Okay.
But he's still a great goaltender. You know, if Roberto's going to get 20 shots, he's going to beat you.
Okay.
They had a great defensive core last year, and they added Danny Hamhuis and they added Ballard.
Yeah.
Those are two excellent defensemen. Hamhuis could be a 1 or 2 on most teams in the NHL. Ballard's a 3 or a 4.
They can play minutes.
They can play 30 minutes a night.
Skate,
they can play power play. They can kill
situation.
penalties,
Yep.
and they both compete.
Yeah.
They're not just offensive defensemen. They compete. They get
Yeah.
their nose dirty. And if Roberto Luongo's not playing very good, Ballard would hit him over the head with a stick.
Let's hope not. But
that's going back to last year. Look it up on the internet.
There you go.
But so you've got the best goaltender, one of the best goaltenders. Now you got, I think, the best defense in the West.
Okay.
And that team last year, you got the two Sedins were great. You've got Kessler. This is a good hockey team. They're big. They're physical. They're good defensively. They're going to score enough goals. That's why I like this team. And again, nobody in the West. You know, there was no Kovalchuk's going to the West. There was no big movement in the West the way there was in the East. So I really like the fact that Vancouver, I think, is a team that got they were good anyways, and they got better than anybody else this summer.
I like it when you bang on the table. You get really revved up.
I was banging last year when I was picking Chicago.
I know.
In 6.
Well, I'll tell
against
you what.
Philadelphia.
I like Chicago still. I just think they kept their core in place. So I'm going to go a little feverish.
Nuclear weapon has a core.
I just think their core is still intact. I like it.
What happened? When did Pittsburgh win the Cup? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
What happened? They kept their core intact.
Yeah.
Did they win the next year?
No.
No, they didn't.
But they were they were tired, the Penguins. They were in the finals 2 years in a row. Oh, hey, listen, we'll see how it plays out. Let's get to your Cup pick. People are more curious about your picks.
Oh, Canada. Vancouver.
Wow.
That's a good hockey team.
Homer pick from Barry Melrose.
I'm from Saskatchewan. But
Well,
I played in British Columbia.
Okay.
Vancouver's a good team. I like Vancouver.
Why will they beat the Capitals, though?
Because they're better defensively.
Okay.
They just, you know, how Montreal beat them. You know,
Okay.
if you can shut down Montreal's offense, and you shut down Backstrom, and you shut down Ovechkin, you're going to beat them, and that's what Vancouver will do. They'll put Kessler on somebody. They'll have Hamhuis out there. They'll play Bieksa. They'll get in their face. They'll make life miserable for those scorers of Washington. So I think they're just too good defensively for the Washington Capitals offense. And again, Vancouver will score against Washington. I don't think Washington can score against Vancouver.
Okay, simple.
It's very simple.
So there it is.
I'm a simple man, Eej. I'm a simple man.
Melrose opening day Stanley Cup picks, subject to change, but last year I have to say, terrific job.
It bothers you too. It hurts you.
It does hurt. I have to admit it. It does because usually I have a little bit of leg to stand on. This year, not so much. But Vancouver winning it all over Washington. I like Chicago and Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. But you can go to ESPN.com.
Would that be a great final? Chicago, Pittsburgh? Wow.
Great cities, great stars. Tays against Crosby.
Gary Bettman would be losing sleep if that thing had a chance to happen.
That would be great if that happened. But we'll see. You like the Vancouver and Washington, which also would be great. All of the picks from the division winners, trophy winners, Stanley Cup picks. You got Mr. Melrose's picks. You got
already working on my Lady Bing pick.
You got that's right. And
you know what?
And you've been like
I'm
8
worried
years
about.
in a row.
I'm always worried about the Lady Bing pick.
We got Pierre LeBrun's picks. We got Scott Burnside's picks. We got Matthew Barnaby's picks. We got John Buccigross will probably have his.
We
let
Butchie pick.
Why not?
Not sure he's qualified.
Levy picking this year? We got Levy?
We don't let Levy pick.
No, we're not letting Levy pick.
No, Levy's off the board.
I can understand that. Okay. Anyway, go to ESPN.com. All the picks right there. For Barry Melrose, I'm EJ Raddick. Stay with us right here, ESPN.com.